Yeah, I think we're live. We should be. Hell yeah. Hello, hello. Welcome to another Sunday Balkan Live. We are a bit later on than usual. That is because today is Orthodox Easter. So, happy Easter to all of those who are celebrating. I know I am. So, how are y'all doing today? Let's see.
Oh, can you close the...
Yep, it's closed. It's just a bit delayed. Don't worry.
Okay.
Nice to see Crackpipe Xander. Always good to see you. Tyrant Solo. I think I saw not regular. Yep, there he is. Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh, we have two Xanders. We have My Name is Xander and
Oh wow,
Mr. Crackpipe.
two Xanders. Hey. So, hey, hi Dushan. Happy Easter. Oh no, and we are already starting.
What? Oh,
Oh.
thank you very much for the super chat. Crackpipe Xander
Cheers,
says,
Xander.
the man,
So-
the myth. Hello, voices in my head say we're not schizophrenic.
Hi. Yep. So last week it was, regular Easter. So happy Easter to all of those who celebrated then. So yeah, today I figured we are gonna talk about different types of travelers we've encountered by traveling and just all sorts of wacky, zany situations that happened. So feel free to ask questions regarding that. We'll read them in. Otherwise, we'll just basically be talking. So yeah, basically.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
no.
you so much for the super chat. Not regular says, let's start.
Cheers, cheers, not regular. Thank you.
Oh, and thank you very much for the super chat. Stefan Klon says hello with a wave.
Cheers. By the way, this is wine, and thank you, Stefan.
Sorry.
The blood of Christ flows within me. You know, it's white wine, so it's his what was it called? White blood cells. Yes. So yeah, so Sonia is also here with me. So yeah.
Hi.
But yeah. So weird traveler experiences. So how many countries have you been to by now? Like over 30 something? Yeah.
Almost 40.
Oh wow.
I think I'm at 37.
37.
38,
Okay, I'm
yeah.
somewhere around 30. Oh no.
Oh.
Hey, thanks for
It's,
becoming a member for 3 months. Cheers, man.
Are they mega filled? Once again, only doing this to get seen by everyone.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
We
Should
gotta
we-
bring in the propaganda right away.
Should we do a stream sometime where we debate who Transylvania belongs to?
Oh, that'd be
or would
fun,
that be
wouldn't it?
horrific?
I
Oh,
don't know.
not regulars.
There we go. Cheers.
Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Crackpipe Xander says, me, Tyrant, and Not Regular are the liver disease delegation.
At this point, basically. And I was thinking, the last couple of streams, we haven't been having as many donations. We can go a bit more extra. Do it with wine. Nah. Bad idea. Straight off the bat. Just horrible idea.
Oh, hello, Socialist Republic of Vietnam.
Hey.
Hello.
But, yeah, back to the topic. So, what was, one of your worst travel destinations before we got together, solo wise? Because I know what it is when we were together.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, thank you so much for the super chat.
Beer money
Jonas
for
says-
Soviet. Yeah.
Beer money for the Soviet. Yes, we definitely spend a good chunk of change there.
You know, it's funny because, for those of you that don't know, the Soviet is basically the bar that I go out to in Cluj. It's basically Soviet themed. Basically a LARPer's paradise. Oh no.
Oh no. Red Hussar says, "Er de Sekefeld. Hope you're having a good Sunday."
Oh, you pronounced it
Remember
really
for-
well.
I am
Cheers, man.
Seke. Technically, I am Seke.
Yes,
Technically.
But yeah, the Soviet, things have gotten so bad that as soon as we walk in, they already know our regular orders. Basically, Baba Yaga, which is a cocktail made with juice and this really strong liquor called Tatratea, which is 75 to 78% alcohol, but you don't feel it at all because it's basically alcoholic tea. So It's a really fun drink.
Streetcar wants to know, did you study in the U.S.? In parentheses, Midwest.
Oh, no.
Oops. Vicky says Transylvania is Swiss. Happy Easter.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, I went to high school in the Midwest, unironically. And I believe you also went there for high school, yeah? Yeah.
I did some high school here.
Oh yeah. Well, Sonia did 1 year of her high school in Romania and like the rest in Wisconsin, which is I did like my middle school half in Serbia and then half in America. And then I did my entirety of high school years in America, so that was fun. Not really, because basically like the school I went to was quite ghetto. It was basically in the dangerous part of the city, the hood. And it at one time they even found a dead body on the driveway of the school.
Jesus Christ.
And it turned out like somebody from the area OD'd, and the students basically found him behind where all the buses go in, So that was fun. So you'd also see like kids, hooking up in the hallways and like bathrooms. And I mean this in a very NSFW way, just saying it, friendly wise for YouTube. But yeah, it was like that type of school. You could also find like joints in the bathroom, so people would basically smoke box in the public toilets. So you'd go there and, it was just smoky and they couldn't do shit about it. So to combat this, in the entrance of the schools, you know how at like airports they have those x-ray scanners?
Oh, the metal detectors?
Yeah, not just metal detectors, but like actual x-ray scanners for your bags. So they installed x-ray scanners in front of the school. So when you would go into class, you couldn't come into school unless you put your bag through the x-ray scanner, and it would like show if you had any weapons or any drugs on you, basically. It was like that type of school. So yeah. Very fun. Would do again.
General Giga Chad says least violent Midwestern school.
Basically. Now, with your school, you basically went to like the middle of nowhere.
So you don't hear it as much right now, but I lived in very, very rural Wisconsin for quite a while. So I had 70 kids in my graduating class. And 7 of them got pregnant before they graduated.
7?
Yes,
oh,
7.
Wow.
Oh, thank you so much for the super chat, Danny Saba. Says, tell us the backstory of the Serbian dancing lady. I'm not sure what that
it's basically a folklore. Well, not folk, but I guess that's the correct term a bit. A legend, like a mythical creature, so to say. Women creatures. But it's basically, so Serbia has a bunch of like these legends about scary things, such as what's it called? The Drekovac, which is like basically this creature. These are like these paranormal beings that appear here and there. So one of them is like the dancing lady, and a lot of people have been shown clips of her on TikTok and Instagram Reels, which are just annoying to me, but that's a whole other topic. Basically, the legend says, if you see a dancing woman in Serbia, she does like some dance where she's jumping around, basically doing this, then she's gonna kill you, like attack, and you're gonna die in the next couple whatever. So that's all there is to it. It's just like a legend. So whatever.
Giovanni Hansen wants to know your opinions on the Ustashi.
They were literal Nazis, dude. Like, what do you want me to say? But yeah, I mean, what do you think about the Nazis? What am I supposed to think?
Yeah. Oh, Big Bubba Thick Boy wants to say, hey, my Bosnian best friend and I are thinking of opening a Balkan restaurant. Do you think a Balkan restaurant would do well in America?
Yeah, depends on where.
Yeah.
It's basically, it's all about marketing. Anything you do is just about marketing. If you market it well and you actually put in like the time and effort to make it known, and you have like a good niche, yeah, it will succeed, dude. Like I tell you, the Soviet is a great example. It's basically like a regular cocktail bar, but it's so popular because it does the whole communist niche so well. So if you know do it well, anything's successful.
Yeah, this is not a country that is especially well disposed towards communism. So it's just marketed really well. This is not like a communist glorifying bar.
Yeah, basically, it's just done really well. So if you think of something like that regarding the Balkans, make it super Balkan themed, and you market it really well. Like even Baba Gump, not Baba Gump. Is that the name for the restaurant? Yeah, the shrimp place.
Yeah.
Baba Gump. Yeah, like they're also very niche, based off a movie. Marketed extremely well, super successful.
So BNN asks, do you think Pussy Lips is a good president for Serbia? Also, when are you going to make the part 2 of the video about Serbia's history and the video on Belgrade?
When we start getting enough views for Serbia, then I will. No, but the Serbia videos don't do that well, so that's why I haven't really made a part 2 or went on. So yeah. But yeah, let's go back to our topic.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Because we went on a tangent. Bloody hell.
Yeah. So you asked me for bad travel experiences. Yeah. Oof. God, this is gonna be such a boring answer. I can't really think of a lot of them. No, I'm very easily impressed when I travel. And yeah, I mean, the worst travel experience that I had in recent memory was with you.
Yeah, I mean, we had like 2 pretty bad ones. The first one was in Armenia. The second was basically Israel.
That
unfortunately.
I wouldn't call that truly bad. No,
I wouldn't say it was the best, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I didn't enjoy Israel that much, you know. I mean...
Oh, Crack Pipe Sanders, I will pay you for a part 2.
Okay,
well,
I might be convinced. Thank you.
Oh, real quick, what is your Heisberg wants to know what your opinion is on the Balkan Odyssey YouTube channel?
So Balkan Odyssey and I have like some lore behind us. Basically, we used to collaborate together back in the day when his name was Serbian Mapping. You know.
His name was what?
Serbian Mapping, because...
Oh, I thought you said Serbian Man Pig.
No, Serbian Mapping. You know, there's like this entire mapping community of YouTubers who would be like country balls, and then they would make different maps on videos. So you was one of those types. But, Tyrant Soul, cheers. When will your truck live stream happen? Okay, maybe the next one.
Okay.
Cheers. No, but he was like this young high school kid who showed really promising talent for video making, and he made very good and well-made videos. So the problem is, like, after some time he basically went completely off the rails and just started making videos based on ideology, basically on communism and how, you know, capitalists ruined everything. They ruined Yugoslavia. They're ruining our lives now. You know, communism is our only saving grace, blah, 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 blah. And the thing was, like, I was even his Patreon. Not Patreon.
Thank you so much for the super chat, not regular. He says, we'll pay for drunk Euro truck stream. You guys encouraging drunk driving, aren't you?
Yeah, just call it.
You love drunk driving.
But yeah. So, I mean, I talked to him and we debated a bit, and I was like, listen, dude, I really can't support the videos you're making now because, in my opinion, you're promoting a very harmful and dangerous ideology, and I just can't support you. And, you know, I unsubscribed. I haven't talked to him really since. You know, it's a shame, but it's kind of like I don't want to support ideologues. You know, that's not my style. Like, I'm fine with everyone's opinions as long as they're sort of more or less moderate, you know.
Thank you so much for the super chat. Red Hussar says,
cheers.
I heard the Clone Wars had a Serbian dub, and I have been looking for it on the internet for months. Are the legends true, or am I chasing fog?
I've actually heard of that as well. I'll look it up, actually. I'll look it up and I'll post it on Instagram, so go follow it there if you find it. I'll post it and I'll tell you about it, so I gotcha.
BNN wants to know, do you think the Balkans has cultural similarities with some parts of the Middle East?
I'd say it has more cultural similarities with, like, Latin America.
I'd say Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia?
Yeah, parts of it,
I could see it. No, but Latin America.
I mean,
more
I
so.
guess you can say that, some of Bosnia and Albania will have some kind of more Turkish influence.
Yeah. But I just mean like.
I mean, like Ottoman influence is obviously the better.
But I
way to
just
put
mean
it.
like mentality wise, like what's the word? Basically values wise and all that type of stuff. You know.
Oh, I don't know.
No.
Does it values?
I can see it. You know. I can see it sometimes.
Yo boy Fargo says, Sonia, are you American? Did Janos finally get his reparation girlfriend for NATO bombing Yugoslavia?
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah. I am American. My background is kind of similar to Janos, like American citizen, but with very close ties to here.
Eastern, yeah.
Yeah, Eastern European ties. Like, yeah, this is where my family is from, etc., etc.
Yeah, but Israel, you like.
It wasn't a bad experience. It was just some parts were a bit not as expected. I guess like the cost is. Israel is so expensive.
Yeah,
so expensive.
It's
Easily one of the most
negative
expensive
sides.
countries I've been to, like ever.
Well, I mean, it was more expensive than Germany, and I can definitely see it being
Hey!
like Switzerland. Oh, Gatsu!
Gatsu's here!
Holy shit!
I blew up the Romanian embassy in Armenia. Hashtag best travels.
Fucking hell, face.
Of course you did, you
Cheers,
little
Gatsu.
Georgian terrorist.
Yeah. Bloody hell, he joined us. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so next time, hopefully Gatsu's gonna join us for the live stream. So, hoping for that.
Yes, you are joining us, Gatsu. That's
Yeah.
it. You will join us here.
Yeah, we were trying to get him to come to Romania. I know, horrible, but but yeah.
Let's see.
But I know. I mean, for me, one of the biggest problems with Israel was just like Jerusalem, with the entire city feeling more like a theme park rather than this holy pilgrimage site.
And just, what pissed me off the most though was that fucking exit tax.
The exit tax? Oh,
We
yeah.
had to pay a like €30 exit tax upon leaving Israel.
Yeah, so
Each.
that's one wild part about it is because usually I think it was like under the UN or something, you cannot not allow a foreign national to leave your country. You cannot hold them illegally there. If they have the right to leave, you can't hold them in. And in all the 30 countries and how many we've traveled to, never have we been asked to pay a tax or a fee for leaving a country. Not even for entering. Okay, I guess for entering if you're buying like a visa or an e-visa. But upon exiting Israel, they literally made us pay €30 to leave the country, which is just wild for some reason.
Sarplex says they need your shekels.
Yeah, no, but it's also kind of shitty because you all know how there's like this shitty stereotype about the Jews, and then you have this going on.
Stefan Klan, thank you so much for the
Cheers.
super chat. He says, out of curiosity, how many architectural styles do you think you've seen throughout your travels, and of all of them, which is your favorite?
So architecture-wise, because I've traveled a whole lot of Europe, I would say that it kind of, after some time, starts being the same. Like the three main one is Baroque, Neoclassical, and Gothic. Like Europe basically throughout is those three styles mainly. Now, in Spain you will see some Moorish styles as well, and Moorish inspired ones. Romania and I guess also Spain and France, you can see, what is it called? The French one. I forgot it.
Les Français.
Not Les Français. No, there's the French one. I forgot its name. I'll
Nouveau?
Art Nouveau.
Oh, yeah.
Art
I like
Nouveau.
Art Nouveau. I like Secessionists, too. The Hungarian Secessionist style. I actually love that style.
Yeah, so you have that, and you also have, in Barcelona, you have, what was his name? It wasn't Gaudian. Was it Gaudi?
Gaudi, yeah, but
Yeah,
there's a specific name for it, but I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, you have that, but Europe is, after some time, very homogenous regarding its architecture. Like, you have a couple of cities which have different styles, like Prague as well will have different things. And when they do Gothic, they'll do it really well in some places. But if you go to, the regular towns, they usually follow a similar pattern.
Yeah. As far as architecture in Europe, I'm always a sucker for like the really dramatic Gothic styles.
Yeah, yeah,
I like
absolutely.
a lot of Romanian church architecture. I think
Oh
is
yeah,
really
yeah,
lovely and
absolutely.
very special and unique. Outside of Europe, I'm a big fan of temples in Southeast Asia, in Thailand and Cambodia.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're beautiful, very striking as well.
yeah. Do you know on pictures they look amazing?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, also, I am a big fan of the architecture in Sarajevo.
okay, Gatsu asks, if one country had to rule all of Europe, what country would you choose it to be? Real question. I mean, right now it's kind of like who's ruling Europe? Germany, basically.
Yeah, look how great that's going.
Well, I don't know.
Yo boy Forgo says, "What if the second they finish the Sagrada Familia, it gets blown up by Catalan nationalists?"
Oh my.
LOL.
No, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that church, honestly. Oh
Thank
shit.
you so much for the super chat. Bob
Cheers.
Samarzik says, "Moving to Montenegro, bad idea. Will they join EU?"
Mm,
It depends on where you go. Like, there are a lot of Montenegro is. I know Janos is not the biggest fan of it,
no,
but
not at
there
all.
are a lot of parts of Montenegro that are absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I mean Montenegro seaside is quite nice. My thing is I just don't like the people in Montenegro. I'll be hands down and have a personal beef. But I do think they're going to join the EU
Yeah, I mean,
practically quite soon.
if it's about moving to Montenegro specifically, or more about moving to that area, I mean there are other places in that area. I think you'd have just maybe a
I
nicer
mean,
time.
Montenegro is like the safest in my option.
Yeah.
Like out of all the Balkans that aren't like Croatia or I guess Romania or even
Yeah.
Hungary, they're the most functional in a sense, economy wise.
Yeah.
And they don't really have any major instability. I mean, they do have their political situation, which is a headache, but
Yeah, one thing
yeah.
about Montenegro though is that if you want to move somewhere that's a good place for exploring, that's a good base for exploring the rest of the Balkans, Montenegro is not that place. It takes a very,
Yeah.
very long time to travel, even just in Montenegro
Yeah,
itself.
Montenegro has horrible infrastructure. Like
Yeah.
its roads are just frankly dog shit. They aren't made for the amount of people that they get. And it's simply like on the map, two places are relatively close to each other, but driving through those mountains and when there's like traffic, because it's basically all two-lane roads which are very narrow. And if there's some shit that's going on, you're basically screwed, you know?
Yeah.
So if you want to travel around the Balkans, not Montenegro is not
I'd
recommended.
actually say,
What?
this is going to get me some hate, but if you want to be traveling the rest of the Balkans, live in Hungary near the Budapest airport.
Yeah.
It's going to be the fastest, cheapest, easiest way because you'll get flights. You'll get return flights to like every major city in the Balkans for a return flight for 40 euros.
Well, not just that, you also have really good bus lines and train lines
Yeah.
from Budapest to all throughout. So,
The voices in my head say I'm not schizophrenic. Said Romania and Spain justifying the use of half the GDP on big churches instead of trying to make the country functional. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Romania does follow that model now, does it? Because Romania is
That
building the
stupid
biggest
Orthodox
church.
cathedral.
I mean,
Alexi says, as a Romanian, all I can say is please get me out of Timișoara. Timișoara is
Why?
beautiful.
I could
It's
see
not the most
sometimes-
convenient location,
No,
but
no.
it's one of my favorite cities in Romania.
It's nice, but I've heard a lot of people who live there actually complain about living in Timișoara.
I mean,
Like-
people who live in Romania complain about everywhere.
Fair.
Romanians hate living in Romania.
No, but I mean, for Cluj, not a whole lot. I mean, people who live in Cluj are quite happy to live in Cluj, you know. But
Yeah, that's
Timișoara
true.
is like, yeah, I mean, it's nice, but I don't want to be here. So I hear that a lot. But Cluj is like, yeah, I'm happy to be here. The rent's high, but, you know, I'm still happy. I think this is the best
Yeah,
city, you know.
Cluj is a very livable, very wonderful city. One of my favorite cities in the Balkans,
Oh, yeah,
honestly.
absolutely.
Damien, I'm sorry, Georgievic. Sorry, I'm
Georgievic.
sorry,
There
Damien.
you go.
How much money do I need for a 6-week trip to Serbia and Montenegro?
Um,
More than you think.
Yeah, so right now, Serbia and Montenegro, I would say both aren't the cheapest because of the Russians.
Yeah.
So basically, if you're planning to stay in the big cities like Belgrade or Novi Sad, Well, Novi Sad's not that expensive as much. So I would suggest base in Novi Sad. Belgrade is extremely expensive right now, accommodation wise and food wise.
Yes, very.
So just be aware because before I used to live in Belgrade for like 3 months, but when we would make trips to Serbia right now for administrative issues for me, we would spend way too much money. Like being in Belgrade.
So much money, dude. Spending easily between the two of us, including accommodation, easily spending like $70 a day.
Yeah, which is just ridiculous. I mean, I know it sounds a bit weird, but it's basically if you don't have your own kitchen, you don't have your own groceries, it's, not the best. So, yeah.
Tony Valentin says, I don't know why Romanians complain all the time. Like, seriously, bro, you don't live in Somalia or Yemen. Yeah, that's true.
And Little Miss Mushroom says, I don't know, Novi Sad got pretty expensive. Yeah, basically. Novi Sad's expensive as hell now.
Yeah, it's funny because I would say Belgrade is more expensive than Cluj.
Well, yeah, I would say Belgrade's more expensive than Budapest even.
Yeah.
Like,
Shit, that was what I meant. Sorry. I said Cluj, but I meant Budapest. I don't know why, but I think it's cheaper to go out now in Budapest than when we went out in Belgrade.
Yeah. Which is weird because Belgrade has a lower living standard than Hungary. Well, just Budapest as a whole. Like, the salaries are lower, yet it's quite a bit more expensive. So,
And Romanian GDP is gonna overtake Hungarian.
That's coming soon,
I think it may have technically already did. Not regular says Cluj still sucks to live in due to the rent. That's all.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the biggest negatives for Cluj, I would say. Also the weather. The weather is not my favorite.
When you live, Cluj is, for those who don't know, Cluj is in like a valley in the mountains, so you get a lot of the weather can be quite cloudy.
Yeah.
Depending on the time of year, but.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
But yeah, definitely. I mean, Romania as a whole is a fun place to travel to.
I think it's one of the most underrated travel destinations. Like when people ask, like, where should I go visit in Europe to get a really like authentic, off the beaten trail experience? I mean, like the biggest ones I always recommend are like Romania.
Yeah.
Yeah, Romania, Albania, Bosnia.
Yeah, those are
Georgia.
Of the classic ones. Yeah, but Georgia, I mean, technically it's culturally European, but it's like in Asia, basically.
It's an interesting mixed culture.
Yeah, but Georgia is really cool to check out. Like, it's different from Europe, so it's a breath of fresh air in a lot of ways, and it's an extremely enjoyable experience.
And the people are so wonderful, the food is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I would say the food is one of the best I've had in Europe. Like, arguably, Georgian food, Turkish food. Who else was really decent? I mean, I love Hungarian and Romanian food. Those are good for me. Also Bosnian.
Bosnian food for sure.
Yeah, Bosnian's the shit. I mean, it's close to Turkish, but it kind of branches out a little bit. So, it stands on its own.
TCH69 says, Dear Father Janos, that's Daddy Janos. I've been learning Serbian for a few weeks now. Could you give me some advices on how to master the language?
So language learning basically comes down to immersion and using it. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. That's basically it. Study every single day. Go like even half an hour. If you can't do those, do 15 minutes. Just study and try and learn the grammar first, and then not grammar first, vocab first, and then seldomly learn the grammar.
Oh, Fluffy Neko is a member.
Hey,
I think
cheers.
they upgraded to backpacker.
Hey, base man, cheers.
And Virgin Saint wants to know if you've had some strange/funny experiences during your travels. Oh yeah, that is the topic of the video,
basically.
isn't it?
I mean, we always diverge with all these, but yeah.
Yeah. Kosovo.
What was it with
Kosovo?
Jackie Chan.
Oh,
Okay, so Kosovo is a really funny one because we just arrived to Pristina. It was, I think, like 11 a.m. or something, and Pristina has basically a very typical Serbian like type of city layout, where it has like a main pedestrian zone, which is like filled with commie blocks as well, like these commercial commie buildings, and cafes on there. So we're over there. That's how you can imagine it. And we're just walking, I'm recording, we're checking out the town, whatever. And it's a pedestrian zone, so it's filled with people. People are at the cafes, whatnot. And coming towards us is coming like this Asian guy who is like dressed in a suit and tie, has a briefcase, is going on his way wherever he's going for business. And all of a sudden, you just see like a Kosovar coming towards him, like on that street. And he stops and he points his finger and goes, Jackie Chan! Jackie Chan! Jackie Chan! Hi, Jackie Chan! Just like pointing and screaming towards this Asian guy.
Hey, it's Jackie Chan. It's Jackie Chan.
And this guy just looks at him like in disbelief, doesn't show any emotion, just keeps walking. And the entire time he's like pointing his finger and go, Jackie Chan! Jackie Chan! So, yeah.
Mr. Dig. Sorry. Mr. Dig Bick says you should make a video on the history of communist Albania. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is interesting because Albania basically was North Korea.
Yeah, along with Romania. Yeah. I think
Korea.
Albania might have been the only country that had it worse than Romania during the Cold War.
Yeah, it was. That's the funny part, but yeah.
Do you like meatballs?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, Mr. Epic Leaf wants to know if you like meatballs.
Yeah,
Yes, meatballs are
see
wonderful.
him. No, I see this. I see Mr. Epic Leaf on every single video, and no matter what the subject is, he like inserts a comment. Does blank like meatballs?
Oh.
So if I talk about in the Albania video, he's like, do Albanians like meatballs? In the Portugal video, he goes, do Portuguese like meatballs?
I didn't know.
Yeah, on every single one, he's the one who like keeps commenting that. Just no matter what,
We celebrate this at this channel. We celebrate autism in every form. Vyaktika Solar Beam wants to know: did you ever get sponsored by tourist department of any Balkan country government?
No, we're. I want to say kind of working on it. I mean, we're working on it in theory.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try and get sponsored by. I'll just say one country that we're gonna go to. It neighbors Romania and it's similar to it. That's all I'm gonna say. They have very similar flags. Very similar language. All of that. But yeah, we're trying to put up a pitch for a sponsorship. So I don't know how that's gonna go. We'll see.
Socialist Republic of Vietnam says, Mr. Epic Leaf, don't worry, we like meatballs.
Yeah, next stream we should eat meatballs. Why not?
Exactly.
But yeah.
Alexi says, as a Romanian, I can say that the railway infrastructure is so bad that when the train passes a long viaduct over the Danube, the train tilts so bad that you literally feel like you're about to fall. Oh, God.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of my friends here say that like there's been a lot of train crashes and trail derailings in Romania. Well, not crashes, more derailings, and that screws up the entire system.
Crackpipe Sandra says Moldova Maxine.
Oh yeah, do Maxine. Oh yeah, I'll make it a video about that guy very soon. So stay tuned. But yeah, what else? Travel wise.
I'm trying to think of weird travel experiences. Oh, I would say
what.
When you got sick in Bulgaria.
Oh, sick in Bulgaria, yeah. So in Bulgaria, that was also, I wouldn't say weird, but, when you get sick, you get sick. And I think one of the worst parts to get sick is when you're traveling because you don't really have a good base and you have to, like, travel, basically. If you're stuck in the middle of nowhere and you're backpacking, that's one of the worst feelings. And in Bulgaria, I basically like woke up one day feeling under the weather. I was like, whatever. And I was like, I just want soup. So we were in Sofia, and I was like, I want soup. I want to eat soup so I feel better. So we go to like this one soup place. Do you remember what it was named?
Oh, some sort of pun. I don't remember.
It was something, a soup pun. It's in the center of the city. It's called like
have a super day or something.
Something
like
like that. Have a super day, yeah. And we go there and I eat like some chicken soup, and I'm like starting to feel better. And all of a sudden, as soon as we like get up, I start feeling sick, like deathly ill. And we're walking, and there's like this container on the side of the road, like one of those big ones where they take away the garbage and just like any big bulky materials. And I'm just I'm gonna puke, and I go over there on the road filled with cafes and like people walking, and just start barfing in there. And then Sonia was like trying to make it so it's not a scene like just waving to the people. Oh yeah, this is nothing. Like
yeah. He's not in withdrawal from heroin or anything. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so that was fun. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Salesman 420. So a few streams ago, I asked you if Austria was a part of the Balkans. Since then, I have prepared the following arguments. We constantly start wars. We have a party only based on hating Slovenes. Really?
Nice.
Wait, so the Austrians actually hate the Slovenes?
That's random.
Yeah. I thought no one had a beef with them.
It's not like the Germans are in love with the Slavs.
Yeah, can you pour me?
Yeah, sure. So, voices in my head say I'm not schizophrenic. Says, visit Seke land in Romania and do a Giaoma-style video titled, Seke Elder shocked when white Bosnian speaks perfect Hungarian.
No, I wouldn't say perfect because...
his Chinese isn't perfect either.
Whose?
The guy that he's talking about. That one guy who's like, Chinese person shocked when white guy speaks perfect Chinese.
That guy. It makes it, yeah. I didn't even realize that was a reference.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying because there was a funny situation that happened a couple of days ago where I was basically messaging the Hungarian consulate in Cluj about some situation regarding the visa and whatnot. So, of course, when I talk to them, I talk in Hungarian. And I wrote an email and I thought, oh man, I wrote like such a good email. It was so well written. It was like grammatically so correct. You know, I put it through Google Translate from Hungarian to English and like translates perfectly, no problem. And I was like so proud of myself. So now, I send that email in the evening, go to sleep, all happy with myself. And next morning I wake up and I check my email. And the first sentence they start off writing back to me in Hungarian, they're like, Mr. János, unfortunately, your message was unintelligible. Please write in a language which you were on a... What was it? Which is on the level of your mother tongue. With great respect to the Cluj consulate. Just in that moment. So, that was fun.
Queen Elizabeth II wants to know when the Romanian-Serbian gay ship is coming.
Yeah, so the script is almost done. Gonna finish that up, and yeah, it'll probably come this month, most likely. If not, then like April. So it
is April.
Oh, it's April. Oh, I'm in May. Yeah. What else?
Gabriel Servant wants to know: can you go to Montreal?
How's in Montreal, dude? I mean, you have Canadians.
Smoked beef sandwiches. Those are really good.
Nah. I mean, Canada, it's not on my bucket list. I mean, I've went there to like Toronto, Niagara Falls. I think that's more than enough. I mean, Quebec is also nice, but I haven't been there. But you know, Canada. Listen, Canadian travelers are one of those that are always the weirdest ones, not gonna lie.
Sorry, but it's true.
Listen, you know, people always like talk, they talk about Americans being dumb and whatnot, which, alright, you can find stupid Americans when you're in America, but outside of America, like, if you meet American travelers, they're usually quite chill. But it's a complete opposite when it comes to like Canadian backpackers and Canadian travelers. You will find Canadians in the weirdest positions overseas just like this. Like, there was one video I watched of a guy, I forgot his name, but he's like a British guy who went to Afghanistan.
Oh, I forgot, yeah.
Yeah, he went to Afghanistan after the Taliban took over. And he goes and he's like getting checked by the Taliban. They can't speak English. So they literally call up a Canadian who joined the Taliban to come and translate for them. And he asks him, oh, why did you join the Taliban? He's like, I figured why not, basically. Guy wasn't Muslim or anything. He just decided to join the Taliban. And that's the thing with a lot of Canadians that are overseas. They just keep doing this shit. Not as extreme as that, but oh man.
Well, Canadians, for some reason, have it in their heads that Canada is a shithole and a terrible place to live. And it's the most bizarre thing because you will meet them in these countries. And for any individual Canadians listening to watching this,
not on a personal
lay
attack.
off, okay? But it's just, I don't know. I don't know where they get this idea, but Canadians just hate America and Canada, and it's very strange. Mr.
Yeah.
Epic Leaf wants to know, does Sonia like meatballs?
Do you like meatballs?
Yes, Mr. Epic Leaf, I do. Thank you for asking. Nobody ever asks me my thoughts
there
on
we go.
meatballs, and I feel treasured.
We care about women.
Thank you. Oh,
Like
thank,
meatballs.
thank you so much for the super chat, Salzman420. Say, to make it clear, not every Austrian hates Slovenes. Only Corinthians do.
Really? Well, what's the beef with them? That I actually want to know more about that. Unironically, like that sounds like such a
Yeah.
petty beef, like something that has a lot of juice in it.
Ruffles Oregano wants to know, I'm certainly biased, but do you ever plan on revisiting Greece, similarly to the southern Albania
Oh,
video?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, we would love to go.
Here's the thing. I already have like a video pre-recorded for Greece, Corfu, but I'm waiting for me to go back to Greece to do like another island with it, so I can make like, oh, I went to the Greek island, so you didn't have to. You know? But Greece is one of definitely the most enjoyable travel destinations out there. Like, I know a lot of it is travel destination, like vacation destination, but traveling to Greece, you have the best of everything. If you want history, you got it basically in every corner. If you want nature, you got it. If you want to chill on the beach, you got it. If you want luxury, you can have it. If you want a cheap vacation, you can have that as well. Greece is like the ultimate jack of all trades, no matter how you want to make it. Like, if you're a poor traveler, there are literally zones that cater to Balkaners, which have Balkan cheap prices for them.
Really? Oh,
Yeah, like, I mean, people shit on it, but Paralia, which literally means beach in Greek, is a very popular vacation destination for Serbs because it's cheap as hell and you get beautiful beaches for, like, an apartment to rent over there is maybe like between 15 to like 20 something euros an entire apartment.
Yeah, remember, Greece is not the wealthiest Balkan country. I think there are two Balkan countries ahead of it. Slovenia and I feel there's another
Croatia.
one.
I think Croatia.
I don't, maybe.
I think Croatia or Hungary, one of those.
I don't remember, but
Slovenia
yeah. Greece is actually a lot more affordable than people think. Like if you go to like a lot of, like, you don't, Greek islands even aren't necessarily expensive. Like I've had really reasonable prices.
I mean, you definitely do have with Greece that side of luxury travel if you want it, but you also have, again, all of this backpacking super affordable type of stuff as well. It's really whatever you make of it, you know. So I would definitely encourage people to go to Greece. You know, if you're in the region, you can't go wrong with Greece. What else?
Yeah. Well, maybe we should go back and talk about the travelers.
The travelers?
Yeah.
So, okay, we shat on the Canadians.
Yeah.
Who else?
The British,
yeah. I mean, listen, they're a very easy target, and that's for a good reason, because I've met so far only two types of British travelers. One is the sex tourists. Two is basically the party goers.
Yeah, like
That's
the bachelor party.
The bachelor party ones. The bachelor party ones, I noticed they usually go to like.
I said bachelor party. I meant like
bachelors,
just a bunch of dudes partying together. I just cannot think of the name for it right now.
I mean, they usually go to like Barcelona. They go to like Central Europe, Budapest, Prague, and they have like huge problems with them. Amsterdam as well.
Yeah. Amsterdam is actually, the city of Amsterdam now is actually putting out advertising, telling the British tourists to go away, not come.
They're actually making those. But wait, Xander says, what's that bald fella?
Stefan Klein, a member
Cheers.
for 3 months, wants to know, have you experienced any Karens during your travels? Yes. Remember the Hungarian border?
Oh, the Hungarian border. I thought you were talking. Okay, I thought you were gonna mention our like last travel with Israel. You don't remember the Karen?
I am so totally blanking on this.
You know, before our flight. No.
No.
You don't remember?
Uh-uh.
An hour before our flight.
Oh.
Okay. No,
okay,
but
sorry.
in Hungary, so okay, Karen, we experienced while traveling. Okay, I'm getting a bit tipsy. Okay. Man, I sure hope there's no more donations. Okay, but listen. So one of the first ones. So for those of you that don't know, Hungary and Serbia have one of the worst borders in Europe as a whole. It's very slow, it's extremely inefficient, and you can wait there from like 6 to 8 hours basically for nothing because they're not doing their job well. They're like, being lazy. And this situation was one of those situations where we waited for I think 6 hours at the border. So it was me and Sonia. We were going to Budapest, I think. And on this bus we had a bunch of foreigners, basically Germans, Austrians, British, also Hungarian, Slovaks.
Oh, not regular. Thank you so much.
Oh, no.
You said, did
Cheers.
somebody say more donations?
Thank you. No, but yeah. So this is what was the situation there. And most people who have went through it are very used to it.
Oh,
and they know what
Tyrant
it's like.
Solo,
Yeah,
thank you very much for the donation, says you
Cheers.
called.
Anyways, this one German lady, I think she was like 30 something years old.
Oh,
something
she was
around
like
that.
40s,
40?
yeah.
40, okay, 40. And she's like a little bit Karen lookish. And she's becoming outraged because we waited for 6 hours at the border. She's like, this is supposed to be Europe. How can we have such long border waits in Europe? And, we go to passport control, at those polls, and they're like checking everyone. It's her turn. And she's like, this is unheard of. Why did we have to wait so long? Everyone's like, what does she expect, And she's like, I want to speak to the manager. She literally says that to the Hungarian border guard. Now, this guy's, whatever. He's like, okay, I'll call you the manager. So he calls his manager, whatever, and he like takes her to the side to talk. And these guys start like basically talking in Hungarian to each other, being like, what a fucking bitch. She doesn't even know like what's going on. Well, who does she want to talk to? Orban? And this guy's talking to her and she's like asking him, like, why is it taking so long? Blah, blah, blah. She's like, why is it taking so long? And he's like, I don't know, go and call Orban.
Yeah, he told her to go right to Orban.
Go right to Orban and you tell me. And just like leaves her on her own. And yeah, that was basically that. So yeah, not a whole lot of Karens, but when they do happen, it's fun.
Oh, Borekche wants to know, have you visited Novi Sad?
I lived there. I had the misfortune of living in Novi Sad. Listen, I have from the start been anti-Novi Sad for a long time. Everyone in my friend groups knows me for my excruciating hate of Novi Sad. And I had to live there for like a couple of months. I think 3 or 6 months, something like that.
Oh, thank you. Voices in my head say I'm not schizophrenic.
Does this count? Does it say? Yes, it does.
Sure.
Cheers.
Yeah, Novi Sad is funny because it really, really wants to be Cluj.
Yeah, in a lot of ways. It wants to be this hip destination for students, for like travelers, Kind of like, how in Romania you have Bucharest, everyone knows Bucharest because it's like this very big dystopian commie city, and you have Cluj, which is basically the opposite, the cooler big Romanian city.
Yeah, the nicer one. It actually still is still very Cluj is very beautiful.
Yeah. Now, Novi Sad wants to be like that with Belgrade, but the problem is Novi Sad is ugly as hell.
It has maybe a square kilometer of decent architecture, and the rest is
basically commie blocks and new commie blocks. That's how it is. And people for some reason want to act like it's the prettiest city in the entirety of Serbia, which is just ridiculous, in the entirety of the world. Like Novi Sad is, welcome to the Backpackers, you're Slavic. Cheers, man. Yeah.
Socialist Republic of Vietnam says Novi Sad makes me Novi Sad.
Novi Sad.
Novi Sad.
No, but that's the thing about it is, people who are from Novi Sad and who live there, they cope about it saying like, oh, it's great. It's not. You only like it because you come from the province where you have not even what Novi Sad offers,
Yeah. Thank you so much for the super chat. Salzman 420 says, on the Slovene thing, just look up Kartner Slovenin if you speak German, otherwise translate it.
Okay, Kartner Slovenin. It's basically Kartner Slovenes. I gotcha. I will. Thanks for the super chat, man. I might even make a video on that now, actually. If
what?
It's like, the beef between the Germans and the Slovenes, that might be actually fun,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the Slovenians will be thrilled to see them
Yeah.
in a video about
Yeah.
anything. You're a massive Slovenian fan base.
Well, I mean, I do have a bit of, yeah, but yeah, it's just I don't know. I cannot like Novi Sad, and one of the biggest copes that I hear about people is like when I criticize Novi Sad, and this used to be like the case when I criticized Cluj a little bit, was they would say, "Oh, you haven't seen the entire city," as if there's shit to do in the residential commie block zones. Like, of course, the city is big, but like the bigger parts are the residential zones. And we were just talking about like this with the zones of Cluj today, I think, or like yesterday.
Yeah.
It was like looking the map of Cluj and all the zones that we actually went to. It was like looking up the other ones that we didn't go to. It's like, should we even go there? Because it's basically
Yeah.
commie blocks, residential commie blocks. It's like, okay, we haven't been there, but what's the point of going there when you're just gonna see basically houses where people live, and stores for groceries and whatnot. So
That's Socialist Republic or Tyrant Solo says to do a collab with Viktor Orban.
oh, I would, dude. If he would let me have an interview with him, I would be so grateful. That's been my dream. Have an interview with Orban or Vucic, one of the two. Shit, I'll even go for Kurdi. Fuck it. Like whoever one of those three comes out, I think that would be a great video. Just hands down.
Mikey Suarez says, "Oh, who lives in a war crime house under the sea? SpongeBob Serb pants."
Tell me you're from Novi Sad without telling me you're from Novi Sad. Oof, man, this wine hits harder than the beer. Goddamn.
Because you're not used to drinking wine.
Well, no. I'm used to drinking Tatratea and beer. That's about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What's he say? Wait. Alexei says that's the thing. When I criticize Timisoara for understandable things, people get offended because they are too proud. Same case as Cluj and Novi Sad. It became a meme in Romania to make fun of Cluj. Yeah. No, I agree. And that's one thing that kind of annoys me with a lot of these people who are just proud of their city. Like, there are reasons to be proud, but it's kind of like, dude, it's a city, there isn't a whole lot. Like, there are nicer cities than Cluj, definitely, and Cluj definitely has parts to criticize. Same as Timisoara. Oh no, what's this? 40, is that 40,000? What
Hope.
the fuck? Hope.
What's that?
Thank you for replying my Instagram DMs. You're great. Lord Wikipedia. Cheers, man. You're welcome.
Oh, that's the Colombian peso.
Oh, Colombian peso?
Mm-hmm.
God bless. Cheers.
Thank you. Kronoslav Kovacic has a question for me. He wants to know, do Americans believe that the Balkan Wars are still ongoing? What are some other misconceptions about the Balkans? So, no, I don't think they think they're still ongoing, but to be honest, the average American, unless they were they're above a certain age, really doesn't know a lot about the Balkan Wars.
Fair.
It's not really, at least when I was growing up, we weren't really taught about it in school.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, when's the first time you actually learned about the Balkan Wars? Well, the Yugoslav Wars, I guess.
I don't know if I should admit this. After we started dating.
Really?
Yeah, then I started
wow.
learning more about it.
Indoctrination,
Because I
basically.
didn't yeah. No, I mean, it's just...
Cheers. Do you like Indian food? I'm Syrian, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just had some today, actually.
Yeah, there's an Indian restaurant in Cluj. It wasn't the best.
That's
But
all right.
I'm sure that it's not easy to source the ingredients
Yeah.
for...
But I mean, Indian food, when it's made good, it's good, dude.
Where's my water?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm really thirsty.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Over there. Yeah. Sorry, the wine's hidden a bit. I apologize for my buffoonery. For the sins I have committed. Anyways.
Which country would you go to in case of a zombie apocalypse? Well, there's only one answer for that. Go to Albania. It's got the bunkers.
I mean, yeah, I guess Albania is actually the perfect place for a zombie apocalypse. You have the highlands and you have bunkers. So it's pretty decent. I guess if that happens, Albanians are just gonna recolonize Earth, so...
Anti-Furry wants to know, do you talk Serbian, yes or no?
I do, she doesn't. That's
No,
it.
I do not speak Serbian. Serbian's actually supposed to be quite hard.
Oh, wow. Hey, thank you for the super chat. I'm editing an hour video with a cartoon character and want to eat myself. Any advice? I feel you, man. I absolutely understand you there. Best of luck to you. Just push through it. Make breaks when you can, just to keep your mental health going. Like work 45 minutes, then like break 15, and repeat. We'll even go back to your Bosniak roots, not regular. Listen. Next time we go to the Soviet, I'm wearing the Arab fit.
Yeah, we got some traditional Jordanian clothes that like the Bedouins and stuff wear when we were in Jordan.
So yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, Dala Moneyman wants to know best flag in the Balkans. I like the Albanian flag a lot.
I mean,
actually.
that's like
I think it's
basic
pretty
answer.
cool.
Everyone likes the Albanian flag.
Bosnian flag is nice.
Nah, I don't like the Bosnian. It's basically like the EU making a country's flag, so I'm not a big fan of that. I don't know. I might be biased, but I like Serbia's and North Macedonia's. I think North Macedonia's
Oh yeah,
is
I like
the
North
shit.
Macedonia's flag a lot. They have a really nice
Yeah,
flag.
it's like Japan, but Balkan.
Yeah.
So that's the good stuff. Wait. Did you do fasting in Ramadan? No, unfortunately, not yet. I had a terrible cold, so I couldn't fast.
Yeah.
Listen, and I'm gonna have this cold until Ramadan ends.
Alexander the M wants to know, why didn't you visit the mountain cities in Romania like Sinea or Peles? Peleshez, Predia, Maramuresh, Sighișoara, etc.
Okay, so first time I went on my big Romania trip, that was with my ex-girlfriend at the time, so we did like Transylvania stuff in the area.
Mm-hmm.
After I came back to Romania, we went to a lot of other countries when the weather was nice. So right now we're just waiting for the weather to get nicer and like the trees to, basically be full of leaves again before we go to more Romanian places. So yeah, I mean, the next up, what we're gonna do in Romania is gonna be what? Maramuresh,
Bukovina,
yeah, Seke food, so that type of stuff is coming. Probably Oradea as well, so. There will be a bunch of Romanian videos, don't worry, you'll get Romanian mountains very soon.
Yeah.
Let's see. Are there specific cities that are constantly memed on in Serbia? In Poland, we have Sosnowiec. Yeah, in Serbia you have... Shit, what was it called? Vranje. You have Čačak. Just funny. Shit, there's like some other...
Zrenjanin?
Zrenjanin, yeah, Zrenjanin is a memed one.
Their water is disgusting there.
Yeah.
I got to see it for myself.
No. Like on video, it's funny to be like, haha, Banat water. But once you actually experience it, you kind of realize,
It's
it's
so
not a meme.
disgusting.
It's like an actual.
It has the texture of like NyQuil, and it's sedimenty and disgusting.
It smells,
yeah.
dude. It smells.
Yeah.
And it's slimy. That's the problem with water. It's fucking slimy. So.
Voices in my head say I'm not schizophrenic. Says to do Bukovina and Moldova in the same video because Bukovina alone isn't worthy of a video.
Really?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do Moldova. I mean, we gotta go to Yash, cause. Just cause. Well, no, what they say is basically Republic of Moldova is like what Romania was 30 years ago now, so we can make a comparison there, checking like Moldova and then Republic of.
Madi says about the tap water, it feels like drinking mercury.
No, it is. No, dude. The tap water is absolutely disgusting. Do not drink the tap water in Banat. Just don't. Trust me.
Auntie Furry wants to know, what do you think about Sarajevo in Bosnia?
Extremely underrated city. Like, Bosnia. What was Bosnia's GDP for tourism? Like it was like 2% or something like that.
Really, really low. I don't remember what it was, like 2%. Yeah, maybe.
And most of the tourism that comes to Bosnia is from like Croatia.
It's a day trip from like Dubrovnik to Mostar.
The thing is, like, Bosnia has some extremely underrated cities, and Sarajevo is absolutely one of them.
Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Assassin Duke says, if you want to hate Cluj, stay during Untold.
Yeah, well, I actually want to go to Untold. So Untold is a music festival, one of the biggest ones in Europe, and certainly the biggest one in Romania, and it happens in Cluj. I don't know. Is it really that bad when it comes to tourists and people? I mean,
I
you
don't
weren't
know.
there. No.
No.
Tell me in the chat.
I've
how
actually
is it?
always been out of town when those things are going on, so.
Really?
Yeah. But, going back to Sarajevo, I think Bosnia is probably the actual last true undiscovered gem for a travel destination in Europe. It's so cool. It's so beautiful. The food is incredible, and the people are so nice, and
Absolutely.
architecture is beautiful. I don't know why. I'm honestly shocked more people don't go to Bosnia.
Yeah. Also, hey, Estonian animations. But yeah, Bosnia is definitely there. I would say, like, Bosnia, Georgia, and Albania used to be the three undiscovered European travel destinations, I would say.
Yeah.
But I think Georgia's becoming more and more popular.
Georgia and
day.
Albania are becoming more and more popular.
Bosnia's
but
the last
Bosnia
one
is
lagging
still
behind.
very, very untouristed. Anti-Fairy wants to know Bosnia or Serbia?
Listen, I'll be honest. If you're looking for, like, on average, prettier cities, Bosnia. If you're looking for more substance, I would say Serbia. I think the nature in Serbia is more diverse than it is in Bosnia. Bosnia is, like, basically mountains and that's it. Like, it's nice, but I think in Serbia, depending on what you're into, you can find what you're looking for. Like, it's great for hiking and outdoorsy. Bosnia, because of the mines, you're kind of limited as well. So.
I mean, I think it depends. As somebody who doesn't speak the language, I think that tourists will have more to find in Bosnia.
You think so?
I think Serbia is going to be much more rewarding if you speak Serbian.
Yeah,
you're going to be able to see the prettier parts better if you speak Serbian versus Bosnia. I think you do not have to speak Bosnian to see incredible landscapes and beautiful cities.
Yeah, I can see
so
that.
I would, from the perspective of somebody who is not from Bosnia or Serbia, I would recommend Bosnia to an average tourist over Serbia.
Yeah, I mean, on average, I would say Bosnia is going to be more enjoyable. I think Serbia is more enjoyable party culture.
Oh, yeah. If you want to go partying, if you want nightlife, Serbia, 100%.
Yeah. Like that. Bosnia is nice backpacking-wise and just going on a nice trip. Serbia, I think, is more of an experience. Like, a long-term experience, I would say. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, I'm just saying as somebody who has seen both, who has not lived in either one and only seen both from the perspective of a tourist, I would recommend Bosnia more.
Fair. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? Are we done with drinking? Please, let's be done with drinking. Sasha Rakić says, kaži nešto na srpskom. Evo, upravo sam rekao. He told me to say something in Serbian. There he goes. Am I allowed to post classified military information on the Discord server? Please don't. Listen, just because Wamao had it happen, I don't want that happen to me. I can go without the New York Times writing about me.
What a fucking trip.
No.
That's one of the most insane news stories that I've seen in such a long time.
I mean, what's worst is that the media has basically tarnished Wamao and dragged his name for basically just that happening on his server when he wasn't involved in it whatsoever. It's just a rogue guy that he had as an admin.
I'm sure Wamao has probably been interviewed by the fucking FBI.
Yeah. By now. No, he's been interviewed by the New York Times, like the Times Journal, like shit, dude.
Oh, not regular. Thank you so much for the super chat. Not regular says
Cheers.
who says you are done. Oh,
just
and thank you, Vimlinus. Egal.
It means egal. It means
Egal.
drink.
Egal. Fearless Plays wants to know, how would you rate your experience in Romania?
Honestly, Romania, so I enjoyed more than Serbia. I'll be right with that. But with that said, Romania does have some extreme Balkan bullshit, which is frustrating. So that's all. Like the bureaucracy here is not the greatest. That's all I'm gonna say regarding that. And it's been a pain in the ass with some things. Other things, it's like been godsend.
It's kind of crazy because Romania has the second fastest internet speed in the world after South Korea, but Romania is, as a society, is not very digitalized.
No. I mean, there is some digitalization.
Of course, but
And
like
I feel Romania is kind of stuck in between this extremely old, outdated communist socialist system and this modern European system.
yeah.
And some things you're just like, holy shit, this is super advanced, and the other things is like, this is worse than what fucking Serbia had in the 70s, like the post office in Romania absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
The travel infrastructure isn't great here.
Travel infrastructure sucks. Oh no. Well, someone just gave us something.
Colombian pesos. Lord Furchopedia says, best places in the Balkans to do a master in science. P.S. Are you still addicted to, let's say, Chavapi? Instead of what he actually wrote. Okay. Let's smoke a blunt.
Yeah, dude. Listen, if you're in the area, come to Romania. Or if I'm in Serbia, not that often, we can hang out then. Also, here I'll drink.
Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Miot says, what do you think about Čeka?
Ceca.
Ceca.
That's a Serbian folk thing. First, let me answer. What's his name? Lord Furchopedia. So,
Romania. I'd say Romania is a great place.
Depends.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you want to study in English or like a local language.
English, you have a lot of options. I would say...
I think Romania is going to have the most English
Romania
language.
Or Serbia is going to be more affordable than Romania. If you're a non-EU citizen, which I'm assuming you are. So, Serbia, for a non-EU citizen, you will pay like around 1,000 to 2,000 euros for your degree. Probably a bit more, but it's somewhere around there. In Romania... Like the SARS for non-EU residents is what, like 3K a year?
For bachelors, I don't know.
No,
I think
but
it's
for
a bit
masters,
cheaper.
yes.
For masters, it's like 3,000 or 3,500 a year.
Yeah, so there you go. Now, in my opinion, Serbia and Romania have two of the best universities in the entirety of the Balkans compared to like price and just quality. Well, not even just like price, but quality-wise, they are the best. So Belgrade has amazing universities. They're tough, but they're really decent. And Romania's Babeș Bolyai is, from what I heard about other people who attended it, it's out of this world with the quality-wise. And for the price, it's really decent. So I recommend those two. Hungary is a bit more, it's expensive. It's expensive, and I feel like their universities aren't as well known, and they aren't on the same standard,
No, and Orban really does not want a lot of foreign students coming to study in Hungary right now.
Yeah. So I would say Serbia, Romania, possibly Croatia. I hear the University of Zagreb is also really decent, but I don't know their prices.
Yeah, I don't know about their English language options either.
No, they have.
Romania has a lot of English language options in all of its major cities, especially for sciences. Yeah. Romania is very good for sciences. No,
that's the thing about most basically European education systems. They have a lot of degrees available in English.
Yeah.
Also, cheers to Ivan Ivanov. Favorite Rocky Vulovic song. I would say Crni Bombarder, basically Black Bombardier.
A Socialist Republic of Vietnam wants to know, let's settle this once and for all. Are you Bosnian or Hungarian? Woo!
Listen, I'll be making a video about that in a couple of months. Let me just get my passport, goddamn.
Dollar Money Man wants to know what weird fetishes you have.
Don't worry about it. Listen, that's between me and Sonia.
Oh, Lord Parchapedia says, thank you, Janosch and Mommy Sonia, for the advice. You're welcome, Lord Parchapedia.
Yeah, if you need any extra details, hit me up in Instagram or on email. On email, I'll be able to see your message for sure. Instagram, it's just like my inbox gets so full sometimes, and I don't answer it for days, even like a week or so. So, just an FYI.
GI High wants to know, do you know Serbian Cyrillic? Guys, Cyrillic is not difficult to read at all. I was able to I mean, I didn't even study it, and just being in Serbia, I was able to pick it up really quickly.
Yeah, Cyrillic is easy. It's basically like Latin. It's the same principle, minor differences.
Voices in my head say I'm not schizophrenic. I don't know if we should talk about this, but basically on that clown who accused you of.
Yeah, I mean, we can mention it because I feel like this isn't a whole lot of people, and I mean, it's a little bit of drama that some people might be interested in. So, there's this one quite mentally ill person on Twitter, which I got into. Canadian, yeah, with whom I got into beef for basically. So, some context. This person has been encouraging their audience to do some naughty things to their bodies, basically. You know, I'm not gonna say
down the highway,
you know, across the stream, down the highway,
yeah, something
that
like
type of stuff. And they would post pictures of basically their fans that would send pictures of them going down the highway, and with their like username on a piece of paper, like in 4chan like in the Fortune Day times, whatever. Shit.
Jakob,
sorry.
Polish last name.
Will you visit Poland someday? Pozdrawiam. Pozdrawiam ja tebe. I don't know if that's correct in Polish, but that's how I would say in Serbian. But cheers, man. Yeah, hopefully this year. If not, probably next year. I know we say this, but Poland is like somewhere we need to go.
Keep meaning to go. Probably do a Poland and Baltics trip later this year. Probably like fall or something.
But listen, back to the story about that. So, basically, I see this and I'm like, dude, get some help, like seek therapy. That's all I say. I think nothing of it. Next up, I know this person like is making exposed videos on me on YouTube and basically like tweeting at me whatnot, how I'm harassing them and trying to cancel me. I'm not gonna mention their name because I don't want them to get any attention from it. I just find the entire thing funny. And I just like screw around with him on Twitter. He tries ratioing me, I ratio him even more, which was funny. And from there, this person starts making false R-word accusations that I apparently committed against someone who they know.
Apparently assaulted a minor in a sexual manner.
Well, just say it like that, but we all know what we mean.
You know, yeah.
And it apparently happened on March 15th when I was in a museum in fucking Jordan, you know?
Yeah.
That's what they said, March 15th, me in the middle of the desert, you know, in a museum. Okay, sure. But yeah, so thankfully a lot of my fans and a lot of people came out and stood up for me because this person also falsified an email that I supposedly sent them where they screwed up the email address. They like wrote some degenerate shit basically.
Where you threatened to sick your British army on them. Yeah. This person thinks Janos is British.
Yeah, which is even funnier. So yeah, that's been fun. But yeah, I think it was just like ridiculous, you know.
Well, they emailed your sponsors.
Yeah, they also emailed my sponsors, basically, trying to get me canceled. Thankfully, my sponsors are quite level-headed and don't really want to communicate with mentally ill people, so I'm happy about that. But that was basically just me getting some shit over someone over Twitter because of one comment. That was it. So yeah. Sorry if that was a bit far-fetched. Just honestly makes me mad.
Oh, it was so random.
Yeah. It was just, you know...
bizarre.
Yeah, that's truly the word for it. Bizarre. Just like, you kind of get screwed over on the internet and now you're kind of seeking vengeance for someone ratioing you, you know? It's kind of ridiculous. But whatever, you know. Terminally online, people will be terminally online.
I mean, this person is severely mentally ill. I mean, this is not like just a terminally online person. This is a person with very, very dangerous thinking.
Yeah.
In Aeternum Roma Mater Roman
You know what it
numerals.
means.
Are you going to make a video on Romanian history?
Yeah, I actually want to do that quite soon. So I want to make a series with the history of blank. So do that.
Mm-hmm.
Serbia wasn't super successful. I might return to it, but I don't think there's that much of an audience because a lot of Serbians watch content in Serbian rather than in English. So I think I might do like history of Hungary, history of Romania. First history of Romania, then history of Hungary, and then like see what else is, interesting. So yeah. What else?
Vodka or rakia?
Rakia, absolutely. But yeah.
Well, thank you so much for the super chat. Marco, what is your opinion on RS sending weapons to UA? So what's your opinion on Serbia secretly sending those weapons to Ukraine?
So is that Ukraine? UA is Ukraine?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think Serbia in a lot of ways is very sympathetic to Ukraine. The only problem with Serbia is that geopolitically they're in a very tough position where they can't really have allies in the West that are willing to help them, so they rely on the second best option, which is Russia, because they don't really have a majorly influential power in the West.
Yeah.
So they're reaching. So I think they want to support the West, but the problem is that if they straight up do it, they're not getting as much as that they themselves are giving, and then getting that back.
There's a major problem in modern Serbia with revanchism and just plain old stubbornness.
No, I can see that, but again,
and so I agree with you. I think Serbia is probably more sympathetic to Ukraine than it lets on.
It's just literally the situation that they're in, where they're literally surrounded by NATO and they have a bad history with them, and they don't want to let go of Kosovo. So it's because Kosovo means a lot to the Serbs. So it's kind of like you're put between a rock and a hard place, and you don't really have a lot of options. So the best you can do is basically go on a down low with something that you stand with ideologically,
Yeah.
And that's how I take it.
Yeah.
As
Warwick ENG wants to know: have you ever been recognized by viewers in real life? Any weird experiences? Yeah,
quite a couple of times. First time it ever happened was in Montenegro, of all the
Really?
places. Yeah, when I had 20K, that was fun. But yeah, I get recognized quite. Well, I don't want to say super frequently, but every couple of months here in Romania, it happens.
More often than every couple weeks, I would say.
No,
at least once a month.
Well, I mean, we've been living here like 4 months, and happened like 3 times here in Romania.
I'd say.
I guess once a month.
Yeah.
So something like that. But yeah, we can start finishing up the stream.
Okay.
A bit more. Let's do 12 more minutes, and then we can call it a day. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go. Final questions, or final topics to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matej Švec, have you been to Slovakia? Yes, just Bratislava, but plan to go back there. Are you sad that a lot of Balkan cities were destroyed in the 40s and nice architecture was replaced with common blocks? Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of my biggest grievances with Serbia, that after World War II, they rebuilt it in the common blocks rather than the traditional style that existed before then, which is a shame.
GI High says, Janos, please visit Abkhazia, Georgia. We tried.
We tried. They denied us access. So,
they weren't letting anybody in. It wasn't like just an us thing. It was because the war on Russia and stuff. They weren't letting tourists in there.
Yeah. So basically, you need to get a visa to go in, and we applied for the visa, but they just rejected us because of that.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is.
Yeah, hopefully we can go visit Gatsu again and...
Oh. Cheers. Do you think Yugoslav wars and the current Ukraine war are both motivated by the same issues with Pan-Slavism by Lord Faircopedia? No, I think it's different. I think there are some parallels, but I think ultimately the war in Yugoslavia was pure destabilization. Where the country basically, you know how in EU4 you have like stability, and then you had negative level 3 stability, and then like shit just breaks out. That was basically what was with Yugoslavia. Like it was just one crisis after another, after another, after another, which completely destabilized the nation. It basically fell apart.
Yeah, Ukraine is the war in Ukraine is literally
Cheers, not
a
regular.
sovereign
Yeah,
country being invaded because another country wants to annex it. It's not.
I would call it more similar with basically
I would call it
Germany's
with
invasion with
I was gonna
Poland.
say Poland for sure.
Yeah, or the USSR's invasion of Poland. Either way,
Yeah.
I think it's. I think if anything, it would be more of, well, no, Germany invading Poland, because Germany
invading
claimed
Poland,
it
yeah.
was protecting the Germans in Poland.
Yeah, Germany annexing Czechoslovakia.
Same way, yeah. So I think there are more parallels there. Well, like in Yugoslavia, yes, it was like some protection for the Serbs. It was more, no, it was the right of them seceding, but it was more of like trying to preserve this union, which was falling apart. And so
Yeah.
just complete instability and blaming each other on that. So there are some parallels, but I wouldn't really call them direct.
Okay, Canius Door wants to know: are you going to do a hypothetical histories? It would be very interesting and entertaining. Those are hard. Those are hypothetical history is something that sounds great in theory, but in practice, it kind of just ends up being like wishful thinking fan fiction of the author.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to. Well, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing those unless I'm extremely educated on the subject, which I don't feel I know any particular history that well in and well out, and I think I would just be talking out of my ass, honestly.
Tyrant Solo wants to know when will you propose on stream?
Not gonna be on stream, guys, but you'll get pics on Instagram or something, so don't worry about it.
I'm just thinking right now. If you got your drink in your hand and you turn over, you drag me into the frame. Anyway, Sonia, here, come on. This is so romantic. Come on, I got
drink
it.
a little bit, yeah. That's funny. Yeah.
Montague wants to know, what do you think about the EU cutting off funds for Hungary? Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, it's always going on. They cut it off, then they put it back. They cut it off, they put it back. It's just this tug of war because...
Well, actually, what just happened, so there's this bank that Orban basically told, hey, come make base in Budapest during the sanctions. We'll let you make a base here. I don't, the IRR or something, like the International Russia or something, I don't remember.
Whatever.
And the EU was pissed about that, and America was pissed about that. And America just told Orban, we're going to sanction your allies, your basically your cronies, your stooges in government over this. And Orban was like, this bank will no longer operate in Hungary. This will not happen. And Orban released a statement about how America and Hungary have such a valuable partnership and they are the best allies in the world, etc., etc. And it just goes to show like how this is what really bothers me about the EU. And I am somebody who is for the EU in general, but this sort of thing that like they threaten to do stuff. Well, we'll do this. I don't know, blah blah. And then a country says like, actually, listen, if you don't do this, we will do this, and we are not bluffing. And Orban acquiesces, but the EU just doesn't play hardball with him.
Well, that was the case with the Yugoslav war as well, with the EU basically being like, oh, we'll do something, and the US is like, okay, we're just gonna bomb you. They do it, and then everyone's like, okay, let's do it. you know? But yeah, I mean, Hungary is a complicated country. I think we could talk about Hungary the next stream more.
You want to just do like a Hungary stream?
I think we might do
politics, culture, food.
Like politics, Trianon, culture.
Oh boy, when's the anniversary of Trianon? Ooh, I should know this.
I think it passed, but
I'm sure it did. We would have seen drunk Hungarians at 8 a.m, wailing, tearing their hair in the streets.
So that'll be fun. But yeah, I think we should do that. Just like discuss all of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Socialist Republic of Vietnam wants to know, how many Horthy Miklos would you need to defeat Goku? 1.
Just one.
Can't wait for that crossover.
Oh man. No, what's screwed up is like in the center of Budapest, on the square of freedom, like from fascist tyranny. Good evening, redacted. Good evening, man. On the Square of Freedom for the victims of fascism, just a couple of meters to the left, you have the statue of Horthy Miklos. By the square with a statue dedicated to the Jews that perished during World War One, you have a statue of fucking Horthy Miklos with a saying, he to those who fought to preserve the Jews, something of that caliber. And it was just like in such bad taste, and they have like a literal fence, like in front of the statue, so people can't come to it and they can't desecrate it because, shit, dude, it's in like such poor taste, man. Like, it would be like literally putting a fucking statue of Hitler a couple of feet from the statue of Anne Frank. Like, come on, dude.
GI High wants to know, what if Serbia was made a sultanate?
So it would be Bosnia, basically. Let's see. Video ideas. I visited Belgium, so you didn't have to. I recommend Ghent or Brussels. Listen, I would like to, but is that Belgium expensive,
is self-commented.
Listen.
Belgium is Bruges is nice, but
You been there?
Yeah, remember?
Really? I thought you were only in Brussels.
Remember, I went to I think Antwerp, Bruges, and Brussels.
Oh, shit, you went? I thought you were just in Brussels.
Dude, Belgium is tiny, and you can do
so
day
you can
trips.
Just do, really?
Oh, yeah.
So that takes more, huh?
And their train system is fantastic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we should do like Amsterdam.
Dude,
well,
you can see like
Benelux.
most of the country in like 2 days.
Okay, let's do Benelux, dude. Maybe.
Sure. Or you can do you can also do Amsterdam as a day trip from Brussels.
Oh,
and it's
yeah?
actually cheaper to stay in Brussels than in Amsterdam.
Really?
It's only like 2 hours by train. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? We could do that. I mean, I don't know if that would get views, but I mean, we might as well just like
Canniest Door wants to know, have you been to Skopje? And we have, and
Yeah,
we actually
there's a
really
video.
like it. Skopje is actually a really interesting
Yeah,
city.
Skopje is the shit, dude. You also have a video about it, so go check it out. What else? Yeah.
The Socialist Republic of Vietnam says the world couldn't survive 2 Bosnias.
No, not at all.
Epic Star 86 wants to know, Nikola Tesla, Croat or Serb?
Austro-Hungarian. He was born in Austria-Hungary, therefore he is Austro-Hungarian. Listen, he immigrated to America with Austro-Hungarian documents.
Noted American inventor.
Yeah, no. Did you know that like one of this American ambassador in Serbia commented on Nikola Tesla, like when they were like on all the comments, he was a noted American inventor, like in Serbia. To everyone, just to like piss off everyone.
Good God. Socialist Republic of Vietnam says, isn't Skopje a monkey wildlife reserve?
Don't worry about it. It's great.
Cute.
Yeah. Let's do a couple more comments. Questions. Let's see.
Maldistan Animations wants to know, opinion on places outside Europe.
Well, I mean, I haven't been to a whole lot other than like Turkey, Israel, Jordan, and I guess Armenia and Georgia, and what else? Like America and Canada.
Mexico, you've been to
Mexico, yeah. I mean, I've been to like the really touristy part of Mexico.
Oh, so. Fred Red said, I'll give you a place to stay in Amsterdam for free. All right, let's go.
Okay, let's go.
No take backsies, Fred Red. If you say this is a verbal contract, please.
Yeah. No, I mean, from what I really enjoyed Jordan. Jordan was the shit. Georgia was great as well.
Jordan and Georgia were 2 of my top travel experiences ever.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Armenia, not a fan so much.
Armenia,
worst, hands down the worst. So far.
Not a pleasant place to travel.
No.
We did not have a nice time there. I'm sorry, any Armenians.
I would give it a second chance, but
I would give it a second chance if someone else was paying for it.
Yeah,
and if we could like actually experience it with locals.
Yeah, like if I was coming for a business trip or if I was invited by someone to stay with them, I would come back to Armenia. But as a solo trip, not really.
Ooh, the monarchist wants to know, what is the biggest church in the Balkans? Oh, well, let us tell you what will be the biggest Orthodox church in the Balkans, and it will be in Romania,
Bucharest.
right by the Palace of the People. So
Really? It's
stupid. It's
by
going to
the
be right
Palace
by
of
it,
the-
yeah. Right
Really?
by it. Mm-hmm.
That was further away.
No, it's going to be right by it.
Huh. Okay.
So great. Another two absolute massive money-wasting
Well, yeah,
reminders.
I don't think the Saint Saba one is a money waste.
No, I'm talking about the Orthodox cathedral they're building in Bucharest. It's just a waste of money. No one needed it. No one wanted it.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's whatever. It would be better if they made it not ugly, because it looks quite ugly from the pictures and like the idea of it. So
Yeah.
if they made it more traditional, I think it would be more popular. But just how they're doing it is kind of like,
It's soft. No, soft and round.
yeah.
It looks like a stuffed animal,
Yeah.
like a cathedral that's like a stuffed animal.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. One last question, and we'll call it a day for this stream.
Oh, the voices in my head say I'm not schizophrenic. Imagine a new earthquake hits right after they finish it.
that'd be
That's
funny, dude.
absolutely going to happen.
With Romania's luck, yeah.
Ooh, Steamroller Wheels Productions favorite Caucasian dish.
King Holly.
King Kali. It's the
King
best
Kali,
food in the
that's
world.
right.
And we just found a place in this little Ukrainian place
Oh, they
that
have it?
opened up in Cluj has King Kali.
Oh hell yeah, let's go there.
Remember, I showed it to you
Yeah.
yesterday, and so we're waiting for it to open after the Easter weekend.
Hell yeah, let's go there. But yeah, that should be all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. We'll be back again in 2 weeks, so we're gonna do these streams bi-weekly. I guess bi-weekly, that's the word, rather than weekly. Yeah, if you have any recommendations for what topics you want us to cover, write them in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, I promise we'll get better at sticking to the topic.
Yeah,
so.
eventually.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.